Tonight's episode of SmackDown started with SmackDown GM Nick Aldis telling the Bloodline that they can't compete in the gauntlet match due to Tonga Loa's injury. Solo Sikoa told Nick Aldis that Jacob Fatu will replace Tonga Loa in the match. After that, we had a singles match between LA Knight and Santos Escobar. Knight, one of the biggest babyfaces in WWE today, is all set to take on Logan Paul for the United States Championship at the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam 2024. Santos Escobar, a top heel on SmackDown, couldn't dominate LA Knight during the early moments of the match, but it didn't take long for him to dominate and get a hold over the megastar as the match progressed. Surprisingly, after the final moments, after the match came to an end, Logan Paul came out and began attacking LA Knight. He joined Santos Escobar in a 2-on-1 attack on LA Knight. Logan Paul is all set to defend his United States Championship against the megastar at SummerSlam 2024. After that, Naomi, in a backstage interview, talked about Blair Davenport's attack on her. Out came Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair and gave her some talk. After that, there was an interview with Logan Paul, who seems quite confident that he will win against LA Knight at SummerSlam. Following that, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair made their separate entrances to the ring, despite being tag team partners. They called out Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, the women's tag team champions. The heels didn't come but suddenly attacked Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. But it didn't take long before the babyfaces took hold of the situation, as can be seen in the pics here, and Jade Cargill threw one of her opponents out of the ring, leaving them enraged. A tag team match, a women's tag team championship match is set for next week. A backstage segment followed with Street Profits, and out next is the gauntlet match for a number one contender's opportunity at the tag team titles. After that, we had a short segment with Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax, and the gauntlet match starts now. Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin take on Angel and Berto in the first round of the match. Baron Corbin quickly took hold of the situation, and out came Apollo Crews and Angel Garza. In the end, Baron Corbin picked up a win for his team. And then came the Street Profits. The Street Profits versus Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin. This match, like the previous one, didn't last long, and in the end, even though Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews tried their best, the Street Profits picked up a big win over the duo. And then, here's the WWE Tag Team Champions Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano watching the match. After that, out came Pretty Deadly. The gauntlet match progressed further, and Pretty Deadly are now taking on the Street Profits. At one point, it seemed like Pretty Deadly had the match on their hold, but in the end, the Street Profits picked up a win. Now out came the OC, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. The duo tried their very best to defeat the Street Profits, but unfortunately, they didn't succeed. In the end, the Street Profits picked up a win over Gallows and Anderson and advanced to the very final match, and out came the Bloodline, accompanied by the leader Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga versus the Street Profits. The winners of this match, this final round, would become the number one contenders for Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa's tag team championships. Solo Sikoa interfered during the match at one point, and it helped Jacob Fatu take on Montez Ford. Even though the Street Profits tried their very best, but they had defeated a few teams before this match, and it had taken a toll on them. In the end, the bloodline became victorious and are now the number one contenders for the tag team championships. Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga will take on Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. The bloodline can be seen celebrating their big win over the Street Profits. Out came Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. They called out Terence Crawford, the boxer, and out came Crawford to a loud pop from the fans in attendance. They began mocking him, taking shots at him and berating him, and this didn't sit well with Terence Crawford. He hit a punch on Austin Theory, putting him down on the mat. Grayson Waller quickly retreated and saw Terence Crawford celebrating in the ring with the fans. After that, Cody Rhodes addressed his undisputed WWE Championship match against Solo Sikoa at SummerSlam 2024. We have a Women's Tag Team Championship match next Friday. Isla Dawn Alba Fire will defend their championships. And next, we have a tag team championship. We have a tag team match also next Friday, a men's tag team championship match. Logan Paul Homecoming is also there on next week's SmackDown. Of course, at SummerSlam, Cody Rhodes will take on Solo Sikoa. We had a backstage segment between Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. Andrade tried to shake Carmelo Hayes' hands, but he ignored him and simply left the locker room. And now it's time for a tag team women's match. Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax immediately attacked Michin before the match even started, and Bayley came out for the save. With Michin injured, the match still started, to the horror of Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax. Bayley began tending to Michin, and the referee then finally started the match. Bayley quickly took hold of Tiffany Stratton during the early moments of the match and began beating her, landing punches on her. Michin at ringside is still injured. Surprisingly, Michin came out to the ring a few seconds later. Here's Nia Jax dominating Bayley. These two are all set to take on each other at SummerSlam 2024 for Bayley's WWE Women's Championship. Michin, as can be seen, was still injured and couldn't participate in the match. This was basically a 2-on-1 handicap match. In the end, Michin finally came out and Bayley tried to help Michin from Nia Jax, but in the end, Tiffany Stratton hit her with the briefcase. This was enough for Nia Jax to pick up the big win over the WWE Women's Champion. Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax were seen celebrating as Bayley lied on the ring. Nia Jax will take on Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship. And now it was time for the final segment. Solo Sikoa talked about taking out Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton and called himself the Tribal Chief. He also took a shot at Roman Reigns, which means that the Tribal Chief might return to the ring very soon, most probably at the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam 2024.